Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you how to replace your factory airbox into a short ram intake. This time I went with the short short ram intake, because it was much cheaper and it's still carb legal, and it's much easier to install without to install into weird location the cold air intake, or install another different kind of box for them. Let's check it out, what I'm talking about. So here is the short ram intake for the Acura, and this is the DC Sports. This is carb legal for the 2002 Acura, and we are going to take all this shit out. As you can see, it has many holes and a bunch of missing screws and bolts, so that's one of the reasons why I'm removing it. And the other reason is because last time when I was removing the box to get to the steering rack, I managed to mess up the intake hose. So what we're going to do is obviously unplug every single hose and connectors. So basically you're gonna have like 3 of them, one that's going into the valve cover, one that's the MAF sensor, and you're gonna have another hose right underneath. You can just pull it out. When you're done with that, you undo the screw from here and the one over here. For me, that's a 10mm, or you can use a Phillips head screwdriver. Then you just take it off. Same thing over here. Make sure that it's loose enough to get it out. Looks like, there we go. Put it aside. Now you're gonna remove all these screws and bolts. It's gonna be an 8mm. Probably on your setup you're gonna have more. One over there, one over there, one over there, and maybe that's it. Yeah, also you're gonna need a 10mm for that. So you're gonna have a 10mm over there. You're gonna have one right over here and one right over there. Just have to undo this one. Longer extension, the better. Okay, when you're done with that, you remove this this hose or clamp first. You're gonna probably have one of these clamps, so just use a plier to move around and then take it all out. Okay, then you remove the top. Then you make sure to remove all the bolts that's holding this thing down. So 1, 2, and 3. And also make sure that you unhook this thing underneath. It's just a rubber hose. There we go. the thing is out, maybe you can spray, you know, a cleaner over here. Make sure that everything is nice and clean. Also, make sure you know that everything is well connected before you put the short ram intake. All right, next thing is to put on the coupler, and you're gonna have a thinner side and a wider side. The thinner side is gonna go onto the throttle body. Okay, now that you tied it down, the first one, you can leave this one a little bit looser and install the pipe. Okay, and now we're installing this little spacer, and we're gonna install it right underneath over there. Right over here. Then install the pipe. Okay, so you tie it down both of the clamps. Now the last thing is to tie down this one. It's gonna be another 10 millimeter. Maybe it's gonna be a little bit crooked. And that's fine. Sitting nicely. Now we need to probably replace this hose and then install the MAF. Then just install this one in there, like that. It's done. Now we have to replace the hose. We have to detach it from here. Okay, this is the last piece that we have to remove, and you have this weird kind of clamp over here. What I'm going to do is just use one of these Allen wrenches, and I'm kind of like separating the two so I can pull this off. Okay, so I just removed the whole thing. I can slide this thing off and use this one. And you can use some aftermarket clamps, you know. Yeah, we might gonna need a longer hose for this one in the future. Right now I'm just making it work like this. Okay, so pretty much you're gonna spend like half an hour or maybe up to an hour to install this. It's not a big job, so don't worry about it. Where you're gonna have maybe some little issues, you know, maybe reaching the end of the clamps, pulling this one out without, you know, dropping it, because you know it's like really tight rubber gasket around it, and when you're pulling it out, you might gonna drop it. I did drop it. Hopefully hopefully it's not gonna have any issues with it. And also you might gonna need a longer hose for over here. I was just, you know, like barely reaching, you know, the pipe over here, so I can extend on the other side as well. That's the only thing. You're gonna have one bolt over there, and that's it. Okay, now we're gonna test it out. Also, one more thing, very important, and you shouldn't be forgetting it, is to put on this sticker to make sure that everyone sees it. It's an aftermarket intake system. You can put it in here, you can put it like this, you can put it off center. It's up to you.